everyone, welcome back to Vampyr. Last episode we convinced what was his name again? Not him. Aloysius Dawson. Anyways, we just convinced Dawson to accept death, and like the ringleader to the whole proven gang, we instead spare him instead of turning him into a vampire, because I feel like that turning him into a vampire would have been a terrible mistake. Let's keep him human, and we just fight and fight and fight, from now on. Just, that sounds better than to turn him into a vampire. And finally.
Edgar. Edgar, can you hear me?
Jonathan, is it really you?
Easy. Easy. Save your strength. I'm getting you out of here.
I kinda hope I did the right thing. I'm just save him right now.
Don't try to spare me. As a physician, I know all too well when it's too late. Punctured lung, broken ribs, and internal bleeding. An accurate diagnosis, wouldn't you say?
Edgar, what happened?
They wanted me to confess. Beat me black and blue.
Jeffrey McCullum ambushed me at the Pembroke Hospital. He was convinced you and I were responsible for the Skull epidemic.
I never imagined that self-righteous fanatic would dare to attack us in the open. What became of him?
To prove him wrong, I let him go.
Really? You sure that was the wisest course of action?
Time will tell. The most intriguing part of his accusation was that you and I were the pawns of some ancient vampire.
Oh,
William Marshall.
the vampire that turned him,
Yes,
Jonathan, into the vampire he is right now.
They tortured me to make me confess the same nonsense.
I think you're hiding something, Edgar.
What do you mean?
William Marshall, for example. You speak of him as if you know him. How is that?
Jonathan, I cannot say I'm ready for another round of questions.
What can you tell me about William Marshall?
Like they're just zooming him in his
much.
face. But the thing is, the
History
animation
paints the
is
story he was the
not
greatest
great.
knight who ever
So
lived. Amongst the
it's-
immortals, he had a yet greater legend.
if it had better animation, like and more expressive, then yeah, I think there'd be a better zoom in like this. I bet this guy is part vampire or something.
Why would he deserve such a reputation?
I cannot say. The Brotherhood of St. Paul's Stole has next to no intelligence on him. All I know is that he's supposed to be the oldest of all the British vampires.
Why is the Guard of Prewen so obsessed with him?
He was the only ancient vampire to escape the first great hunt launched by the Guard of Prewen in 1854. They believe he's an evil creature plotting his return.
I feel like they know each other.
Why would the Guard of Prewen believe you and I created the vampire epidemic?
Maybe due to our profession? Because I offered you shelter in my hospital.
While investigating the epidemic, I read some of McCullum's findings. I think you have some explaining to do.
I have nothing to hide, Jonathan. Nothing at all.
Do you remember when we suspected Sean Hampton of killing Harriet Jones?
Yes. The terrible episode that came as a shock to us all.
Harriet Jones faked her own death. When I found her in the sewers, she confessed she wanted everybody to pay for what happened to her.
That woman was extremely bitter, full of hatred and festering anger.
Do you know Doris Fletcher's real name?
No, I'm afraid not.
Her real name was Doris Jones. She was the daughter of Harriet Jones.
Really?
What do you want me to say, Jonathan?
Oh, that makes sense. They were both bitter.
Doris Fletcher visited her mother at the Pembroke Hospital. That's how she first got infected.
I know nothing about that. Miss Fletcher once came to visit the sick. That is all I know.
No, Edgar, there is more. Doris Fletcher was Harriet Jones's daughter. They exhibited the same symptoms: blind hate and strong physical mutation.
What does this sad story have to do with us?
Come on, Edgar. Don't you see the pattern here? The
Did he
epidemic,
experiment
the
on
link
them?
between Doris and Harriet, the suspicion of McCullum.
How could I? I never saw Harriet Jones again after she fled the hospital.
Do you know where we are? Doris Fletcher's theater. This is where that hateful creature plotted to spread the epidemic across London.
I only briefly met Miss Fletcher once when she visited the Pembroke Hospital. You say it was to see her mother. She seemed like such a sweet and graceful woman.
My point exactly. The disease turned her into a bitter soul, driven by vengeance just like her mother, a symptom of all the infected patients.
Certain diseases are known to produce similar effects. Rabies, for example. And rabies is not the devil at work.
Doris and Harriet shared more than a hidden family bond. They were the embodiment of the epidemic and are linked to the Pembroke Hospital. Come on, Edgar, this is no coincidence.
I swear I'm at a complete loss. All I did was administer vampire blood to cure old Harriet. There was no evil plan,
What
no
the
diabolical
hell?
plot.
You did what?
I tested the regenerating and healing properties of vampire blood on
fucking
Harriet Jones.
idiot.
My only intention was to find the cure for influenza, I swear.
Whose blood did you use? William Marshall's? Mine?
Lady Ashbury's. While transfusing her with human blood, humanely appeasing her hunger, I also kept samples of her blood for my
You
research.
used her blood on Harriet Jones? My God, Edgar, that's unethical. You betrayed 2 of your patients at the same time.
I made a mistake. But what is science if not trial and error? We both know it, Jonathan, we both know it.
What a poor justification for your morbid fascination and thirst for glory.
You have worked beside me. You saw what I'm doing at Pembroke Hospital. Jonathan, you know I'm not an evil soul. Just another victim of this tragedy.
Yes, Edgar, you're about to die. I won't say it's fair, but I can't say you don't deserve it.
Your words hurt deeply, Jonathan. For they come from a friend.
I'm not gonna turn him to a vampire.
I helped you, remember?
Yes, I remember.
The second I saw you in that bar, I knew we would accomplish great things, you and I.
You know,
I
the
thought you
clipping
were
would
a
make this more,
Till you brandished that cross.
you know, dramatic.
You looked so lost when you opened that door. For a few seconds, I thought you were there to kill me.
I think we were both afraid.
And now, I feel true fear. Is there an afterlife? What will become of me when I'm dead, Dr. Reed?
I really cannot say, Dr. Swansea.
In the end, life betrays us all.
Ooh. Oh my god. Well, I heard of it. I heard of this. This is the final chapter. Chapter 6.
What good fortune brings you back to me, Jonathan? What is it, my dear?
I'm afraid it's bad news, Elizabeth. The worst, actually.
Please, speak up.
Edgar is no longer in McCullum's grasp. I resolved that matter.
Where is our good friend now? Is he well?
He was mortally wounded. I put an end to his misery.
That is terrible, Jonathan. And yet you did what you must. The poor man.
Edgar Swansea was responsible for the Skull epidemic, Elizabeth. It was he who unleashed the deadly scourge upon London.
What? Are you certain? This is the most terrible accusation of all.
He confessed everything to me. He sought to cure the disease, to exploit vampire blood to stop the epidemic. But he unwittingly gave birth to a catastrophe.
All those poor victims. How could he do it? What happened?
Edgar's behavior was beyond lunacy. He had neither the discipline, knowledge, nor the proper facilities to conduct blood experiments.
I must say I'm shocked, Jonathan. Who would have thought it? And the poor patient.
Yeah, I was gonna be blunt.
It
I
was
would tell him he's a
Harriet
goddamn
Jones, was it
idiot.
not?
Yes. That explains how Doris Fletcher was infected, and how she became an Icor. She secretly visited her mother at Pembroke.
Then we have no choice. We must act quickly, Jonathan. We must return to the sewers and put an end to the threat poor Harriet embodies.
I have one more matter to discuss with you. Harriet Jones was the primary case, but do you know what a healthy carrier is?
There is a tone in your voice that frightens me, Jonathan. What are you trying to say?
It was your blood Edgar used for his experiment on Harriet Jones.
What? No.
Yep.
No. This can't be. Oh.
Elizabeth, are you all right?
No, I have to go.
What do you mean?
Leave me alone. Save the city, Jonathan. Save what can be saved.
Elizabeth, I need answers. Why did your blood
Stay
cause
away
this?
from me. Please. I
She's,
swear I never was your
Poor
lady.
lineage.
No! Elizabeth!
Poor lineage, I guess, for her. Ugh. Let's see, where to... Holy fuck.
It's locked.
Or a drop of William Marshall's blood from Lord Redgrave.
Now would be a good time to blend the recipe Marshall used when he fought the disaster. I think I know where to find what I need.
Good.
I'm still persona non grata in the Ascalon Club. If I want to speak with Lord Redgrave, I'll have to improvise.
Alright. Jane says to this. There we go. I gotta really take his blood, huh? Lord Redgrave, around there.
Good evening, Lord Redgrave.
What are you doing here, traitor? I shall smite you for this audacity.
I'm not here to bicker, Lord Redgrave. I can put an end to this epidemic, but I need your assistance to do so.
Good. We've held out thus far, but the time has come to put an end to this crisis.
Are you gonna
Tell me,
help
what
us,
do you
really?
need?
The blood of William Marshall.
The blood of William Marshall? Of my maker? Are you mad? This blood is the purest of all. My maker proffered it to me on the battlefield. I cannot hand it to you.
This is more important than the club, you, or me. This is London's last hope.
I see. Well, in that case, given the gravity of the situation, I suppose I can spare you a drop.
Thank you, my lord.
If you manage to save this city,
It's
you'll
really.
prove
It's really.
yourself a veritable servant of the crown. So Godspeed, Dr. Reed. Our fate lies wholly in your hands.
Holy fuck. What? What? Why? Why? I went to some bullshit battle and you shitting me?
There it is. Insulin. Much more efficient than garlic against blood poisoning and sepsis, and much less dangerous for me. Thank you, Dr. Polescu.
Ah, great.
Good evening, Vampire Hunter.
Are you here to end me, Leech? You'll find I will not be killed easily.
Not at all, McCullum.
What the
I
hell
am
happened
here
to him?
because I need you.
Really? I'm intrigued. Speak up, then.
I need the blood of a king. The blood of
What
Arthur.
the hell happened to him?
I'm
Why does he
certain
look
you
half
possess
dead?
it, and I must have it.
The guard's most sacred and precious relic.
It's because he drank
Why
that
would you-
blood.
You found Marshall's memoirs. I should have destroyed that book.
I need the antidote to save this city, McCullum.
It is within me to take your words as truth. I want to, but I must know more. What precisely are your plans?
I have found the carrier, McCullum. The infection's source. It may be science or some supernatural power that's
Sweet.
responsible for all this. But I will harness either or both to end the epidemic.
A vampire doctor. My God, you're a terrifying creature. Jonathan Emmett Reed.
Do you not understand? We wanted the same thing from the outset. A means to end this vampire epidemic.
Not enemies. Maybe that is so. Take it then. I see no other hope for this city. If this is some trick, you will be damned, Dr. Reed.
Thank you.
Let's
Can
speak
we
more for
speak
no
more?
reason.
Indeed. Why not?
What will the Guard of Priwen do now? Will you stop the Great Hunt?
Yes. But we shall continue to protect innocents from beasts like you. And your
Jeez, he
red-headed
looks half
friend.
dead. Like, game wanted me to like turn him, so I just used this model of him being half dead, but I didn't turn him. He just looks half dead. It's like, I don't know, like he's recovering from the beating.
How long have you known Lady Ashbury? Where is she? And what will you do to her?
We saw you meeting her, so of course we investigated. But she is gone. Our scouts reported she has sold some paintings and departed for an unknown destination.
Oh, you fucking kidding me?
Like
Bitch.
me.
I am indebted to you for sparing me at Pembroke. But this won't always be the case. I'm no coward like those St. Paul's Stoll brothers.
Why are you here?
The man who raised me after the brutal murder of my parents.
Oof.
He's buried here.
And who was this man?
Carl Eldritch. One-time leader of Priwen. He killed my father in front of me.
What?
Helped me hunt my brother Ain after teaching me how to kill leeches.
Were both your parents killed by vampires?
Yes. And yet worse. My father returned to Dublin a vampire and tore out my mother's throat.
Jesus
Adieu.
Christ.
Vampire Hunter.
Until we meet again, blood drinker.